It's going. We started.
How you doing?
Fine. Like, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on the Matt Pinto live podcast.
All right. It's Matt Pinto live.
Excuse me. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's totally fine, but that's been on my mind.
Matt Pinto live.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Matt Pinto Live. This is Matt Pinto's new podcast where we discuss passion, discernment, and perhaps music. We have on one of my favorite people in the whole entire world, Gabe Marr. We've been friends forever, and he plays drums in my band. Sorry.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Cool. I've got that impression. What's your Instagram handle?
Gmarr Music. Gmarr.
What's? Say it one more time.
It's Gmarr Music. That's an interesting thing to open with because I'm not very active on there.
You should be. You should be.
Yeah. I know how you feel. It's fine.
Do you got any gigs coming up in September?
I think the next one that I'm doing is in Jersey City, but that's not until the second week of October. But that should be fun. That's like an outdoor fest, kind of in the afternoon.
Word.
Yeah.
Cool.
How about you? Do you have any gigs coming up?
The gig we're doing at the Bitter End.
Oh, yeah.
September 29th at
September
9:30
29th.
p.m.
Yeah, that's right. You should all come. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, crap. Okay. So my favorite drummers are Mitch Mitchell,
Killin.
Ginger Baker,
Angry, but great.
Dave Grohl.
Great.
And you.
Oh, that's the most esteemed company I've ever been mentioned in. That's flattering.
Now, I had this joke about then being like what drum would you be if you were a drum? I feel like I'd be a bass drum, and I feel like you'd be a timpani.
A timpani.
I don't know if I really think that. That was the best like joke I came up with.
What makes you think you'd be a bass drum?
All of the emotional damage that I've taken in, like, my whole.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't even.
And
I was thinking about the sound, not the punishment.
Yeah. Just taking, and holding it in, and like, yeah.
Damn. That's a heavier answer than I thought it was.
Do you want to talk about drums?
Sure.
You know, what should people know about drums that people don't know, especially like casual people who like music but don't know that much about like playing instruments and stuff?
About just drums in general?
Yeah, literally.
Oh man. This feels like a big answer that I'm going to have a good idea to later. But I don't know, man. Everybody knows that if your drummer sucks, your band sucks.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's just true. It's just true.
You got two more things like that? That's what people want to hear. You can make adages, just make drum adages.
The drums are like the best way to track like cultural movement and like the movement of cultures in America in the past like 100 years. It's like the most pure way to just look at rhythm alone. Like track the clave rhythm from West Africa to Central America to the States. I think the average person's probably like tuned out by now though.
To the podcast?
To like my fact, to my adage.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think people are gonna be pretty psyched.
I'm blanking on another one.
You've never done a podcast before?
No, I've never done.
I've done two of them.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
I
should be asking you.
No. I relate to what it seems like you're.
I did not watch the whole one with Jules and his sister yet.
That's totally fine.
I watched the one with the first one. That was killing. I liked it.
Word. Yeah. Shout out Tucker Morgan.
Yeah. Shout out.
So yeah, I mean, this is really it. This is really. I have the guitar set up.
Do you feel pressure to talk about music stuff since I'm the first? Well, no, Jules was on. Yeah. Did you guys get into a lot of music talk?
Not that much.
Word. We're gonna do that.
Yeah. That's the first. Thanks. Not.
Thanks.
I'm thinking Gabe. Gabe.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you,
Stevie.
Stevie. Shout out Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, shout out.
Stevie Wonder. I think I told you about this, but so when I was in Africa, which is quite a way to just out of nowhere start.
Uganda.
Yeah. When what was that? Or you weren't at Berklee at that point?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That was after your first year.
So, yeah. So Tomo's thing was you have to listen to one. You ever told you this?
No.
Oh yeah. Tomo's thing was if you like you really want to play blues music, you go on a diet of blues. Period. Mm-hmm. Just one. So he was all about just listening to B.B. King live at the Regal. Period. Mm-hmm. So I was listening. So and I wore that out. But I would cheat with Intervisions by Stevie Wonder. That was like my respite.
That's pretty sick. That's a pretty sick cheat day.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, I know Songs of the Key in Life is so good, but like, Intervisions, there's nothing bad on it. It's the perfect album. It's so good.
Do you think you can recite the whole track list without?
Too High, or maybe Golden Ladies first.
I don't think so.
Too High, Golden Lady. Oh now you got me blanking.
We could look it up, but I kind of don't want to.
It's all good. Living for the City. I know, right?
God, I know. My favorites of all. Oh my god,
it's so good.
A video just came up of him playing drums on whatever my social thing. Oh my god!
Is it that one where it's like a high up bandstand and they're like he's being helped up there?
It's like a rock group from '71 or something.
Oh, okay. There's a crazy one where the drums are up on a huge riser and he's like being helped up onto this like 6-foot riser and is like feeling around for the drums and then just proceeds to kill it.
Yeah.
It's
There's videos of David Brecker playing drums, Chick Corea playing drums on
I've
YouTube.
seen the Chick Corea one.
I'm pretty sure there's a Brecker one. Yeah. And it's like
every piano player, like Chick Corea, I'm not surprised. Every piano player is a great drummer,
Right.
It's the same mechanism. It's the same. Yeah.
Right. I don't know about Mercer, but
shout out Mercer.
Shabelson.
Oh yeah.
How do you turn keep it so that your brightness stays on or it doesn't go to the screen thing?
Displays.
Battery.
Displays.
Yeah. Displays. All right. Whatever. So, this is it.
You don't have any more talking points? Just gonna ask me if I have 3 adages about drums.
Crap. Basically, we're almost at 10 minutes.
That's a good thing. It's usually a good thing to hear when somebody says that. What's your like most recent passionate musical exploration? Something.
Did you just hear my neck crack?
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Why?
I mean, I can crack shit too, but I try not to.
Do you think it's cool that I can crack my neck?
No, I try not to in polite company.
God. What were we talking about before?
If you had any passionate recent musical exploration.
Oh yeah, so I had a pretty rough day. I mean, just a lot of running around. So like we're trying to record that. I didn't mean to do it. It was just stretching. So we're getting the third episode of the podcast done. Had 4 lessons today.
Oh, okay. I thought the rough day was getting the podcast done.
No.
Okay. How were you?
I was in a weird mood today. Wasn't feeling great today. Today wasn't one of those days where I was feeling like I was walking around with the W all day. I think that the Bitter End Jam this coming Monday is not happening because of Labor Day.
Oh man,
and I'm
out of whack.
Yeah. I'm kind of pissed.
You need that dopamine.
Yeah.
For sure. Yo, the last thing you posted, it's fucking great. Whoever took that video, that's a great video. What's that last? I forget the tune. Now I'm blanking on it.
That should be released.
Yes. Like band sounded great. Like the camera was great. Yeah.
That's another videographer, Cat. I'll shout that person out in the description.
Word.
That's what I'm saying. It's such a cool spot where different people seem to show up every week from all over the world, and different people who are into different stuff, like people who are into high end video. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I think I can deal with this just by moving my mouse around, and that's enough. And that's that. I think that your drumming is a hybrid to the best. It's like Stuart Copeland meets Dave Weckl meets.
Damn, why are you doing this to me, man? This is brutal. I can't sit here and just listen to that.
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking of some world, Peter Gabriel-ish. I mean, and you didn't, and sure enough, didn't you take a bunch when you were at school? You took a bunch of classes and that type of.
I mean, I played a lot of that stuff. Yeah, actually, some of those Peter Gabriel albums have some sick drumming. Can you
show us some shit? Like not like anything too crazy, but I don't know, demonstrate like some of those different claves or whatever. That was
more specific.
Dude. When we just played "Isn't She Lovely," that was pretty goddamn cool, I think, and that's the first time like anything that has happened on the podcast because it's the first time I have this more of a musical setup. Like,
I have my little dinky thing. I don't even know if you can hear my little dinky pad set up.
Let's listen to you play, dude. Let's listen to you play.
What do you want me to play? I've been into all of these breaks that I've been transcribing recently.
I feel like that's what I heard when I came to your door, or wait, no, not when we came to your door, but
I was playing some of it
when it was in the kitchen before. Yeah,
maybe, yeah. It's like all this stuff that keep playing. I thought the Amen break was so unique, But like,
come on, no, come on.
But all of these soul records have like some of them are crazy fast, and it's the stuff that became drum and bass, and it's really cool, man.
What are those drummers that everyone needs to know about?
Every drummer that played with James Brown,
Clyde,
John Starks, JB Starks, Clyde Stubblefield. Yeah, man, they're just like super killing. But all these drummers on records, James Black was a New Orleans drummer, played with like Eddie Bow and all these weird records. Yeah, just super killing breakbeat stuff,
Can you please keep playing?
Well, some of them get really fast. Like really, really fast, and you imagine these whole dance floors filled with people like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to play that much.
All right. This is very different from what's been going on here. Who did those cats study?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, they all came from the jazz world because that's like what existed before that.
Yeah. Well,
and similarly to guitar, and I think even more so, like it didn't have the lineage of like a long-standing instrument, like as a drum set as an instrument. you're talking like 100 years, 120 years or something. So like you can only be influenced by that many things. There's like rhythms and cultures and stuff, but it's how it gets adapted to the drum set is I don't know. There's so much ground that is still not explored.
I guess I don't make that parallel that often about it being a young instrument relative like guitar is or like electric guitar is thought of. But whenever I hear,
I was gonna say like guitar is to violin as like a drum set is to like there is percussion, right? There is lineage and stuff, but it just feels like a totally different way of approaching it. That's unique to the last like 150 years.
Yeah. Whenever I heard Joe Pest give some sort of intro drum lesson or something, I recollect him talking about the amalgamation process of taking the bass drum from the drum and putting.
I assume it was because they just like got tired of paying a whole section, and they were like, "Yo, can you play the bass drum and the snare drum part? We can fire your friend."
Depressingly modern.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's why they moved away from big bands too. Like during World War II, it's just expensive to pay 22 people, so you get a small like 4 or 5 person combo.
Try not to listen to what Gabe's talking about right now. If you're a music contractor, if you're a
they all
person
know.
who
They all know.
Yeah. See, I knew that this was the podcast that was going to get real. No. It's like it's kind of funny how it's the same sort of thing going on now, but we think of it in different ways.
Yeah, I mean that you don't see many like 20 people bands playing in New York City because you got to split that money.
Right.
There is a group that we used to play with that we did on like some Brother Valiant gigs or something. That they had like 15 people. It's like an orchestra, and they would play like Knitting Factory. They'd play these gigs around town, and I was always wondering like, who's paying for that? Do they just love the music, or it just seems like such a big production.
Here's the most self-serving, selfish thing I'll do on Matt Pinto Live.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell the story? I'd like more people to know the story of your birthday that year in college.
Which one?
When you wouldn't drink, so I got like blackout in your apartment for you on like a Wednesday night.
I mean, that's the story, right? Like,
yeah, you're right.
It's. I'll give you.
No. Let's talk about something else.
I'll give you the respect because that's why you wanted me to bring you up. But
Thank you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Well, before I was thinking in the middle of what's some of your favorite memories from Berklee College? What are some of your favorite? And like if you could like leave out names if you want, or if there's like I don't know anything that sort of beckons that. Or
I mean, definitely like a lot of jams, man. It's funny, I don't have like super specific memories of playing in different places, but I definitely enjoyed my time doing that.
I have specific memories of going to parties with you.
Sure,
and the
I
whole crew.
enjoyed that too.
That's what I mean. That too.
Yeah.
That was the crew. You, Charlie, Dylan, Lillia.
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah.
Different AJ.
I think the only time I got blackout drunk in my life was
Jackson.
Yeah.
Shout out Jackson Parsons.
Shout out. Was at a party that we went to with Aaron, and I was only told about this post like afterwards.
Yeah. All the Boko parties though. Don't worry, we won't go crazy, but all the Boko parties.
Sure.
Especially
which no longer exists.
Which no longer exists. Yeah. We played when Boston Conservatory existed. They would contract out rock musicians from Berklee, so we played Hair, a student production of Hair, Boston Conservatory. Mm-hmm. That was so much fun.
How many times have you played Hair in your life? I think I've done it. That one included 4.
I'm missing one other time.
Yeah. I mean, I've never done it like an extended thing. They're always
yeah.
But kind of sick of playing any of those songs. Yeah.
What's the last play you've seen or musical?
Like live, like in the theater.
Yeah.
That I wasn't in the pit for. Like.
Well, both. But if it's totally cool if you know, no one gives a crap if you haven't seen.
I don't think I have seen anything recently.
Yeah.
Like really recently.
It was Holly's birthday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys just saw. What did you see?
We saw it Shucked. You know anything
like
about this?
SH, like corn shuck.
Yeah. You know nothing about this. There's a musical called Shucked, and it's about corn. And
it really is about corn.
Yeah. Well, it's about this small town that revolves around corn, and there's a.
Is it in Iowa?
It's in. I don't think they ever say the state, but they say Cobb County, and I think that's an actual place in Georgia.
Damn.
Or, anyway. It was pretty cool. And it was country. They had country writers who wrote the whole. You know how country music have like these crazy professional writers.
Nashville Cats.
Yeah, the Nashville Cats. So so two Nashville Cats like wrote this musical. It was nominated for best everything or whatever. It didn't win it, but.
Was it like how was the music? Was it very?
It was pretty tight. It was pretty. It was well written. Cool. Oh,
how
I don't want to give away anything.
How musical theater-y was the music?
The protagonist female character sings with very heavy affected Southern accent for the whole for the whole show, and all of her dialogue is done that way too. So it's country. It's this great country writing that's orchestrated a little bit for. Anyway, it's pretty cool. And they ran this brilliant marketing campaign about everyone having no idea what it was going to be about. Shucked was pretty cool.
Did Holly like it?
Yeah.
She was into it.
Yeah. It's cool.
Shout out Holly.
Happy
Shaw. Birthday.
Happy birthday, Dr. Holly Shaw. The tickets I got were like were like incredible.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like
look at this guy being a Mitch. Good son.
Hey, you know. Can you is there any play that you really like or that you recall like being like, okay, theater is pretty cool, that you recall seeing or no? I'm sorry if this is a lot putting you on the spot. I'm just curious.
Now there's stuff that I've like enjoyed songs from, but I haven't been into it enough to know, like, been invested in the plot and to be like, oh, I like this. I do like what's the one Tim Minchin? I like Tim Minchin. I think he did the music or maybe just the words for Wicked? No, not Wicked.
No idea.
Matilda.
Okay.
Yeah. I liked some of the songs in that.
Yeah.
There's a good song called When I Grow Up. It's very cute, but it's really pretty.
So the first tune in this show, the character realizes that she has to get out of her town to figure out why the corn is going bad and how she wants to so she and everyone doesn't want her to go. They all think she's crazy for wanting to leave town.
Yeah. There's no corn out there.
So she sings this song. I couldn't remember the title, but the whole thing is seeing a window, not a wall. It's killing. Yeah. And everybody in the room knows what she's talking about. It was killing. It was very cool.
Did you go home and like learn it and sing it to yourself?
No, but you know what? Let's do a little Rent. I know there's people out there who want to hear Rent. Sky Butte.
Oh, I didn't realize you have that little amp there.
It's got to be what, like F in like a first inversion.
It's got a lot of slash chords.
Listen, I actually changed my mind about singing Seasons of Love on my podcast just now. So
got to be selective, man, about what you put out there.
Yeah. Do you have ideas for segments or that I should do on this consistently?
I guess I'm surprised that it hasn't been more music focused.
So what does that look like, doing a music review or album every?
That's a cool idea.
Is it?
Maybe not.
If you think of some, let me know. You can email mattpintolive@gmail.com for some segment ideas of stuff to do.
Yeah, involve the audience.
Involving, yeah.
Maybe have call-ins, but like, you might have
How
to.
does that work?
You might have to like text somebody and be like, "Yo, call me at this time."
Yeah. There's a way. There must be a way to integrate Instagram Live into it, but still posting it to YouTube. Not when you're
while you're doing this, you could have it going, and then if somebody like pops up with a question, you could answer it. But then they're not going to see it until it goes to YouTube.
Yeah,
but they're going to get the answer on the phone that's sitting there.
Yeah,
but now you need a third phone.
The with Tucker, I had a third wide shot, and my whole intention was to go between me, whoever's on, and the wide shot, but
didn't work out.
We're not doing. Yeah, it didn't work out.
Damn.
You know what I was thinking about on my way here? Mm-hmm. About how. So I tested into ET ear training 4. I took an incomplete because I got mono.
So you tested in to when they were doing like modal movable do solfege. That was like, we're gonna sing Phrygian and we're gonna say like do ra me.
I suppose. I mean,
that's an insane thing to like drop into as like an 18-year-old who figured out you had perfect pitch a year and a half before that.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't really feel like explaining what we're talking about for those that don't understand it.
Sure.
Right now. No, I'm not telling you to like. I'm just thinking out loud. Mm-hmm. I was thinking on my way here about how it must have been. I don't even know what happened. Sometimes I was taking ET4 when like sometime you were there, mm-hmm. and you asked. There was one towards the end of some semester. It must have been like. Oh, how's it your training go? And I was like, it's just not going to work out this semester. And you gave me this look that was like, what do you mean it's not going to work out? Like, and I was thinking, this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And I ramble on here and there about how you and Declan keep me on my toes, you know?
Sure.
And perhaps that's one of the coolest memories I have because it was like, a friend like making me like really accountable for like making sure I don't fail the class that I'm taking just because of like whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's it.
That's one of my memories on the way here. It's not going to work out. What does that mean? You know. And Tucker's a lot like that too. Like that's why I've said like you know Tucker's. There's all sorts of funny stories about. I guess I shouldn't say names, but people Tucker talking about like going off about. People settling for like to be mediocre in their class, like just for talk. If you don't know, I'm talking about.
I mean,
I'll tell you later.
That's like I'm not that kind of person, right? Like I'm not driven like that.
Well, but with him, it's not such an overt.
Sure.
It's kind of is brought out of him from people watching people that he cares about decide to like fuck off.
I think that's what it is. Like,
wait, can you hear me? Oh.
I think that's what it is that you do care about them. So it's easy to give other people more grace than you give yourself, and it's also easier to hold those people to standards that you are not holding yourself to, right? Because it's like I see that you could do that, right? Probably more than you could see that. And like I'm gonna tell you that because I care about that outcome, you know. If it was just some random dude, I'd be like, whatever, let him fucking pay for it. You're training for again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny the way that we do that for others, but we can't do it for ourselves sometimes. Yeah.
It's been hard to figure out like what's cool talking about and what's not cool talking about.
Oh yeah. It's too personal. Yeah.
Well, some stuff, yeah. When's the last time you talked to Lillia Betz?
Maybe like a year or 2 years ago. Just like message on Instagram.
I miss her.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked since Berklee. I mean, I want her to be on the podcast. I hope she's watching.
Yeah, shout out Lillia.
She's
doing
Lillia.
Good. I think she's in Munich or somewhere in Germany.
Dude, she's got like a high position at Ableton in Berlin.
Oh, that's what it is. In Berlin, yeah. Sick.
Yeah, it's really sick.
That's fucking killing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a friend who I went to high school with who is like a DJ / artist out in Hamburg or Munich or some German city, but he's killing it too. And every time I see pictures, it's like the craziest rave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at 30 minutes. I was thinking, I kind of want to see if we could push it to 120, like an hour 20.
Oh, you got your talking points out?
The first one was 40 minutes.
Okay.
The second one was a hair over an hour.
So what do you
Wait, you watched the Tucker one. You didn't watch Brianna and Jules?
No.
Well, did you see a little bit of it?
Yeah, like 5 minutes or so. I saw Jules's haiku, which is killing.
Yeah. Brianna had I think I'm gonna post Brianna's poem tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah. Shout out Lee's.
Shout out the Noble Lee family: Wilson Lee, Shannon Lee, Justin Lee, Brianna Lee, Julian Lee. What's going on? So the second one was a hair over an hour. Mm-hmm. So I got as we were setting up, I was thinking maybe we could push it to maybe we could try 110.
So what are you gonna do by like episode 8? It's gonna be like 3 hours.
No. I mean, I just maybe just for the first 3. That's a nice idea for like a long segment of sorts.
All right. Well, then let's get back to brainstorming ideas. Sorry to fill all this time.
So
I do think. I
don't know. Yeah.
I was gonna say like a weekly thing, like music find or like dope artists of the week or.
Oh, man, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh, damn, why not?
It's still feeling it out. I just don't know if that's.
You don't think people are interested in your music taste?
I think
that's like a big part of my like musical ego. Is that like I hit people to cool shit, you know?
Shout out Scott Langer. I feel like something that's consistently come out the past 2 is how full the like vapid nothingness is actually, and it probably doesn't feel it right now, but it comes out. So yeah,
just leaning into that a little bit,
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
So where's the highbrow? You got lowbrow.
Oh.
The great Dave King adage, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. That's
shout out Dave King.
Is there anything? Do you remember this one? I kind of wanted to work this out with the. Let me lower my volume.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be quiet here. Oh yeah. I love that A section.
If you have ideas for how to split up the, if you want to work it out, if you want to take away some bars or whatever, if hopefully, like right here, I don't know if that's. Uno más. Kind of messed up. What the whole thing with musical theater is that the song happens when you can't tell the story in any other way now. necessitates that we speak through song. That's the whole. If you talk to
that makes writing difficult because it means everything you write has to have like this deep emotional underpinning, which is hard to live in all the time.
Yeah. Something's making me really want to talk about musicals tonight. I don't know.
You know that I'm like so out of that world. You just want to watch me like, yeah, dude. I don't know.
All right. I actually on my way, I was thinking, oh, let's have Gabe talk about what he's checking out. What have you been checking out? Excuse me. Oh my God. Just like, excuse me.
I sent you those breaks that I transcribed for a student who wanted to do this Eddie Bo song, which is like a New Orleans funk guy from the 60s, 70s. Really hip. That's the drummer, James Black. Really, really hip. Cool breakbeat stuff. Cool, like delayed backbeat stuff. Yeah, so I'm looking for more like really cool, rare breaks to transcribe that kind of aren't transcribed out there.
Yeah.
You know, in like whatever small way, it's nice to, you know, write out the chart and write like, this is the drummer, this is the year, and in some way immortalize like, here's the transcription if anybody wants to actually learn the break. That's what this thing is. Look at this part.
Yeah. I would like you to #YasQueen go off about musicians as historians and how that's. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. That's like the best way to track so much cultural movement in the U.S. You know, it's like through the different influences in the music as they got popular, as different immigrant groups moved into the U.S. and affected what was popular at the time. You know, soldiers like spreading certain American songs to parts of Southeast Asia, and then in the 70s you have these like funk groups in Southeast Asia popping up because of those influences. Really wild.
Yeah, definitely. No. I initially meant specifically in terms of the notion of documenting and the inclination to preserve the work itself. I mean, of course, the historical context. That's a whole Hendrix, Vietnam War, national anthem, you know, whatever. But I mean, the first thing I was talking about. So because yeah. Okay, so Gabe posted to YouTube a proper video showing a transcription. If you know, I'll tell you what a transcription is. You know, and you know what you're speaking about in on the formatting, alluding to this is who did this.
Sure.
So I'll talk about where the proclivity of musicians comes from to want to be a historian and to document the work of.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the like classic rock dude who's gonna go on. Maybe this is like mid 2000s kind of like guitar forum mid 2000s that are gonna be like, no, Jimmy Page plays it in this position. Like, no, they do this. Like, no, he doesn't do a pull off there. He picks every note. There's these like vehement arguments about this stuff, and they're, you know, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to preserve this thing that they love, and save it for everybody in the future, and say, see how good this is. You know, I preserved it exactly as you wanted it. You know. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I think that's some like deep biological shit.
Yeah. It's I'm pretty jaded and skeptical about any sort of Fender custom shop authentic relic, but perhaps there's something to that also. The
vintage gear too. Like, this is my '58 Les Paul that I paid whatever $100,000 for. It's like probably plays like shit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't really listen to Bonham that much anymore, or any of the.
You know, I'm really torn. I mean, nobody cares, but it doesn't say for the listener. I grew up on Zeppelin. Bonham was like my god, and I just don't listen to Zeppelin these days. And I have mixed feelings. I'll listen. Some Zeppelin will come on, and I'll go, man, that's really cool. That's really hip. You know, for like a English dude in this rock band, that's really cool. And then some shit will come on, and I'll just be like, God damn it. Like, this is so lame.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was with some friends the other day, and one of them put on like a 30-minute version of Whole Lotta Love on How the West Was Won.
Hey, I mean, they're trying to stretch out and
they're trying to stretch out this already 3-hour concert.
Let's go. Yes, 30-minute Whole Lotta Love. I'm here for 30-minute Whole Lotta Love.
What about when it's like
I want a t-shirt 30-minute Whole Lotta Love.
I would buy that. But like, what about when Paige is like has the violin bow and he's just like, and Robert Plant's like, baby, like it's.
When we saw Mark Julian at the Village Vanguard. Mm-hmm. Oh, you weren't at that gig. Mark Julian at the Village Vanguard. We have to see more shows at the Vanguard.
We should.
Something I wanted to talk about a bit more is just being so close to the city and oh my gosh, there's amazing stuff going on all the time. So he had during one of his tunes, the bass player took a 15 minute upright bass cadenza, and dude, it's funny. Yeah, jazz quartet at the Village Vanguard. What he was doing, it was Jimmy Page doing the bow shit in 72 or 3. Like, that's what he was doing, it's really trying to and
searching,
truly honor avant-garde.
And it's like you need that much space if you're going to search that far for something.
Yeah.
If you're going to be willing to sit there for 10 minutes and maybe like a minute of it is really special and lands.
Yeah.
You're making the bet that minute is worth the other 9 that people are kind of not following it.
Top 3 favorite drum solos without thinking too hard about it.
Drum solos are weird though, man. Talking about breaks or like solos? Because drum solos.
Talking about Moby Dicks. I'm talking Take Fives. I
mean, those are big solos. I mean, there's a bunch of great jazz solos, man. It's a little cheesy in like Route 1, but Drum Also Waltzes. Max Roach is great.
Is that where Moby Dick comes from?
There's a lot.
What's the Max Roach thing that Moby Dick that Bonham's
Max Roach
playing?
does a lot of stuff that Bonham like to use for sure. I don't know if the thing that people know now is Bonham triplets, right, left foot, and he'd move around the set like that. I don't know if that was a Max Roach thing or if that was just kind of a general, maybe it was a Philly Joe thing or maybe it was just a general jazz thing. But that was definitely from listening to those records. Yeah, but that's a great solo. Man, you put me on the spot. You know what solo that I really like that it's not, I won't say it's my favorite, but I heard it recently and it's good, is the...
Ginger Baker's 15-minute drum solo on Toad.
No. You know what I love Ginger Baker, but I don't like about Toad?
Yo, rest in peace, Ginger Baker, bro.
Yeah.
Ginger Baker...
Sure.
Dude, he like a
sure.
fuck.
You gotta give him his due.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Ginger Baker's one of those badass motherfuckers who ever lived.
That interjection now makes what I was gonna say makes me feel like an asshole. Because I was gonna say
whatever.
Because I was gonna say something I don't like about Toad.
Go for it. Yeah.
He's doing that the whole time. There's always 8th notes in the bass drum. That kind of thing, right? Yeah. I think that's what Hay does in Toad, kind of thing. That makes me think of like some real old time like Sticky Wicket shit, That's what I don't like about that. But phenomenal drummer. What was I gonna say? This solo. Do you know Jack Wilkins, Red Clay? Is he
the band leader?
Yeah, he's like a guitar guy, and he is a great version of Red Clay that I think got sampled a little more than the Freddie Hubbard version. And there's a really kind of quirky, weird drum solo in that is like super melodic and very cool. I don't know the drummer's name though. Yeah.
What's your recollection of performing Red Clay with Jules Drucker on bass for my performance lab class?
I remember we dropped a beat at the end, right? That's like doom doom ba doom doom ba doom doom ba boo ba boo da da doom doom da doom doom da doom doom. I think we, right? Or am I making that up?
I think that it was like and then it was like We added that. We added like a and then just drums for.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Okay.
You recollect anything else about that?
No, not really. I remember you doing that huge epic version of I Can't Write Left-Handed.
Ah. Go back to the other thing for a second.
What?
Go back to the other thing for a second.
Red Clay?
Yeah. Everyone thought it was really sick in the class.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking about a different thing. You're talking about that little like performance just for the class.
I'm talking about that class of like.
Gotcha.
Of like.
I thought you were talking about that showcase. That where you did I Can't Write Left-Handed.
Totally not talking about that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, no.
This is I kind of smile and just nod when I don't recollect what somebody's talking to me about.
I'm just getting comfortable.
Sick.
So
what's the
I said and I'm trying to talking drum solos, talking Ginger Baker.
Yeah, I mean I'm blanking right now. I know there's probably some sick solos.
Can you just play groove for like a minute?
Straight swan. What do you want to do?
Whatever you want. It's really cool that you have this this like setup here.
You know what I've been doing?
Especially because of how like fucking late it is at night right now.
Well, that's what I'm always trying to find ways to make this sound a little better because it's kind of impossible to hear what's going on with this pad set. So let me try to like.
So you have a Remo head. Is that a normal snare?
No, it's a normal snare there.
That's what I meant. But the head is.
But the head are these like silent stroke heads, these mesh heads that they make that don't make any noise. And then I got this little dinky thing on my cymbal. And do like something linear. I don't know how much you want.
Whatever. Yeah.
Sorry, neighbors. Thank you. I mean, you've heard me whine about this. All I want is a place to play real drums.
Yeah.
The last decade of my life, man, that's been the bane of my existence. Just want that place. Wake up, make my coffee, sit at my drum set. Ooh, it would be so. My whole life would be so zen. It'd be so peaceful.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. Start a music school in upstate.
Yeah, man. That's the slow goal.
Yeah. So.
Then make this guy I don't know if I'd make you my studio manager.
I could do that.
No.
Yeah.
No, dude, you'd be flown in for master classes.
I could kill any administrative music school.
No, but that's
running.
That's a squandering of your talents, man.
Yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like. Yeah, right. From the stuff. Let's not say anything.
Actually, no one who works there is going to ever see this, but
no, that's not true. That's
okay,
not
okay.
true. The one of the but
I'm not
the
talking
good
about
guys.
my shit, not your shit. Of people that I'm talking about.
Say it one more time. Sorry.
Like nobody who I'm about to talk about is ever going to see this, but
Okay, well, yeah.
the music school that I went to when I was growing up, when they were first starting out, did some really cool things where they like the dude who ran it called on some of his friends who were performing in New York to come in and give like master classes. So all these like 10-year-old kids would sit around and like listen to like Jonathan Kreisberg or like, yeah, these like sick New York cats. That was super cool.
Yeah. What are your best students working on right now?
Well, that drum transcription stuff that I was talking about, that James Black stuff is for a student who's doing that, and that's pretty like heavy breakbeat, heavier linear drumming. That's like a 16-year-old student who's kind of just getting serious.
I just want to interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
I don't know what linear drumming is, or when somebody says, "Oh yeah, I'm doing like a linear thing." I don't know what they're talking about.
So all linear really means.
Sorry,
yeah.
I gotta take a clip of you playing because it's not. Maybe when you're.
You could just move this thing too.
Yeah. But it's like when you're playing that beat before. Like it's would be good to see like what's going on right here. I'm sorry, but.
So like a linear thing, when people say linear drumming, all that really means is that everything's happening independently. There's no two sounds happening at once. So instead of necessarily going like my right and my bass and having everything land on the beat like that or together, instead a linear thing might be right where everything's playing separately. Now all that really means is that people then do patterns like that are really fast. And there are these little cells that are often come from this kind of soul breakbeat stuff that become part of the vocabulary, you know, like part of the vocabulary is the amen break. So that kind of like
explain what you mean by break and specifically what's the amen break. So no, because there's people.
Sure. I'm just trying to.
Do you know that there's
simplify each thing?
Do you know that there are 48 people who could be listening to this right now?
And
so some of those people don't know when you say a break, they don't really know what you mean.
So
they want to.
A drum break is a part in a record where the band drops out and just the drum is playing, and DJs found that this is the time everybody started getting on the dance floor and dancing. So really skilled DJs would spin the break back to exactly the right point in the record every time, so they could repeat the drum break, so people would stay on the dance floor and stay dancing, and the track wouldn't end yet. And that's kind of where the origin of like spinning records comes from. And then those breaks got sampled, became the foundation of so much hip hop. And there are like 4 or 5 really foundational breaks on records that producers used. One of the most famous ones is called the Amen break, which is from a track called Amen Brother, which was from the Winstons, George Coleman on drums. Shout out George Coleman.
Shout out George Coleman.
Yeah, most listened to drum break in history. You've all heard it. And you've heard it sped up. That's the whole entirety of drum and bass. You've heard it slowed down. That's a lot of West Coast 90s rap. That's that, you know. And that kind of style of drumming isn't necessarily linear, but it has a lot of things in it that people would later expand upon. And like super linear drummers are like J.D. Beck, right? They're playing crazy fast rudiments that are all linear, right? Nothing is playing together. They're all playing separately. It's like variations on paradiddles and inverted stuff. But it's all linear. And they use that as like 30-second notes to fill in all of this time, and then use accents to create a groove within that. Yeah.
When we do that, I want to do them change. I think Alric's going to be able to do the whole gig. I'm pretty sure.
Cool.
It's like pretty tight. And then Charlie can't do it because he something funny happened. He used to clean up. Oh man. No. But like, gives me so much pride to say that, as you know. Whoops.
You can tell me later.
Whatever. No. He's gonna play this part that this like some like cat they hired like messed up.
Cool.
You know, or whatever. He said he would like cover it for till October or something.
I gotcha.
So
I think meant literally clean up, like it's like apartment flooded or something.
So no. I mean like a professional mess. Like, but
gotcha.
but that's maybe I should be a little more careful with like how I.
Yeah, be tight-lipped.
So, when we play them changes, like I love the JD Beck Thundercat version with Ariana Grande, the Adult Swim.
I have to check that one out.
Oh my god, you haven't, dude? You've never seen it?
I've seen it before, but not recently. Yeah.
Total Gabe answer.
Yeah. No, I totally know about this.
No, but dude, the beat that kid
Yeah.
Oh, it's mammoth. It's mammoth.
My favorite stuff of him is when he's a little bit restricted like that. Right.
Thundercat does this. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'll check it out. That's required listening for your gig, for sure. I mean, you can call those out, man. You could say, "I want you to sound like that." I'm not gonna really try to sound exactly like it, but I'll get what you're saying.
Yeah. Word. No. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Word. What we're talking about before. The podcast, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to. How depressing do you think it would be if I do an acapella? I kind of want to give you guys like 2 songs off, and I want to try singing microphone myself.
Should do a song for you.
I want to, I want to do Masters of War so badly.
Solo?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, that song I've always wanted to like have, like the back of my palm, all verses,
Dude, those like Masters of War is the overplayed one. It's such a great song, but all those like heavy Dylan like 6/8.
What's the
ballads,
one where you were telling the Ballad of
Hollis Brown is brutal.
And
there's a killin Nina Simone version of that where she gets like a super sloppy guitar to play instead of a piano. It's really cool. And there's another one, Death of Emmett Till is also a like haunting. That one's great.
Yeah. How would it be too much if I did? There's this Sinead O'Connor tune called Foggy Dew. Mm-hmm. It's not exactly a J-Lo get on the floor type tune.
And you're worried about being a downer?
I want to do that into Masters of War.
Dude, that's like, you don't have to worry about being too much of a downer.
Yeah.
You're not like you're
pretty,
not the entertainment at like a wedding. Like people are there, in a full range of emotion on stage.
Let's go. Shout out full range of emotion on stage.
That was a like another probably too personal thing, but like a good realization I had recently. Like a full life is experiencing all the emotions, not just happiness, and like dealing with them in the correct way.
Insert poop joke.
Yeah. That's I guess what I was going for.
Yeah. It's looking like we're gonna meet the quota.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're not gonna make it after that.
I got comfortable like 44 minutes in, or like 43 minutes in. I had a day that I was like depressed today. I had an off day. I was like, and maybe so this, I don't know, this may be my favorite podcast I've done so far.
Killin. I'm glad you're feeling comfortable, dog.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's how you gotta know. It's I think that right now the whole vibe is just all about realizing it's like have other dogs like make you comfortable. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I was thinking before about how I think that to an extent Dr. Dre is a little bit underrated as a producer. Yeah. I feel like I don't hear Dr. Dre talked about in the the way that I was about to word that. So funny. But I'll tell you that he when people talk about the iconic producer and beats that I think that the whole that early 90s style and like the synth melody lines and the bass and dude, so many of the bass lines just on the Chronic are totally like the should be studied with, you know, every, you know.
You down with the Funky Worm? You ever listen to the Funky Worm?
Is that something that he sampled on one of the?
Yeah, Funky Worm is like the sound of so much of like West Coast.
Yeah. And there's the, and I feel like the Parliament song and like all the
it's an Ohio Players song. Is the Funky Worm, and it's the goofiest shit in the world, but it's really good. And and it's like for the time, like they did all these like portamento synth slides in it. Yeah. And people were like, "Wow, how do you do that?" in the 70s.
Sure.
But that became like, if you heard it, you'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's Snoop Dogg." You know, that's all that stuff.
Yeah. And I'm just realizing too, but also even his early what is the what's the 2001 album?
I'm not as familiar with his stuff.
He totally the album that Forgot About Dre is on. He totally he evolved with his sound and that like that album. I feel like the whole everything about it inspired like the next like 6 years of music in such a huge way that you anyway.
Well, that's in that era too, is in that dark space now, right? Like it's too recent to be cool. But like kids are into 90s stuff now. Maybe in 10 years they'll be into fucking mid 2000s stuff, which would be horrifying.
Can we try that like real like for like 30 seconds?
Is that straight?
Yeah. Maybe I should do it in E.
Modulation.
Any guitar player will tell you that. Sorry, Richie Kanata. Any tune that was written in E flat
should be played in E
flat, and if you do it in E, it's just not the same color. Yeah. It's just not the same color.
I always assume that's mostly the feel. Like it feels so different.
Sure. I mean, I think that I definitely think of it as like a pitch thing. Like, but I mean,
well,
whatever.
that's you. That's
yeah.
If you told me you were tuned down, I wouldn't know because I don't. Really? I don't have
really?
pitch. Not unless you were like really hitting open strings, and I was like thinking about it. You know.
Interesting. Because it makes sense. But I still think of it as like the timbre is, but whatever. Anyway.
I'm not as in touch with that about that instrument, you know.
Whatever. Yeah. So what's your gig in October? Is kind of funny how you. I wasn't really necessarily trying to goat you into talking about the bitter end gig. But
yeah.
What's the gig you got in October?
That's like a singer-songwriter dude. I really like
the teacher guy.
Yeah.
Okay, try to sell it. Sell
oh
it.
Yeah.
Tell people to come to your gig.
Jacob Tremont. Yeah, I like his stuff a lot. Cool songwriter. That'll be in Jersey City. I think it's by Grove Street. That'll be in the afternoon on October 14th. That'll be cool. Come chill. Get some ibis. Get some falafel. Or go to Taqueria and get some lengua.
Yeah. Where is that? Where is it again? I was kind of out there for a second.
I think it's like an outdoor stage near Grove Street, the Path Stop in Jersey City. Yeah, but I'm not positive. Yeah, you should. That dude I mentioned, Jacob Tremont. Just look at his social stuff. You'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, okay, 29th gig. I'm thinking, part of me doesn't even want to change it up too much. To do. I
think you should do every song should be new.
Period?
Except like your shit.
Well, yeah. thinking
we should really like. There are tunes we could really stretch and like have a lot of fun on. Yeah.
like what?
I gotta think about it.
No, I'm thinking like do the E flat tune again. I think like do Peaches and Regalia again. Maybe get that Manic Depression together.
Well, think about like if Alaric's gonna be there, let's use his strengths, man. He sounds so good. You don't want to just be like play chords to this tune. You're gonna do something that makes him.
Yeah, you're right.
Shine.
Sure.
Dude, his stuff was so good. The stuff that he wrote and was playing at Huntington.
Yeah. I
really enjoyed those tunes.
Yeah, same. I think that the next time that whole thing happens, I talked to him a little bit. He alluded to wanting to be a little bit more groove oriented, and
you mean then talk or then what?
Then
he did?
the show like
Gotcha.
that
Gotcha.
his set but yeah, obviously he's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Had a little bit of like a not as extreme as Zappa, but like the melody was definitely like driving a lot of it. It was cool.
For sure. I've been meaning to call that guy. We could play like book a show there too.
Let's do it. Yeah.
But I guess since we put the bid around, I got to give that call, guy. Do you know that I just said I got to give...
I know.
Yeah.
And then I saw you visibly go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, it's not Matt Pinto edited. It's Matt Pinto live. So, that's what's going to happen.
You got to get dogs who have your back. You got to get dogs who make you feel comfortable. How do we play South by Southwest?
Drive there in like a shitty station wagon.
Okay, what's the tier above doing it like that? How do you do it like that?
I don't know, man. I'm such the wrong person to ask about this stuff. You get a agent who's gonna sell you to people, or you like suck Live Nation's dick for 3 years. I don't know.
Can you do just groove and something maybe I guess like non-linear or for like a minute or something? Something like people like want to freestyle over or whatever, or like spit verses.
That's a lot of the soul stuff I've been listening to.
I want to play like Chicken Grease too.
Yeah, like this break that you've heard before. It's called "Impeach the President" by the Honey Drippers. That's kind of weird.
What if another thing I was thinking? Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. Happy to do it.
Another thing I was thinking about was on the way here, if we were, because you had said, which I didn't give any, was mind-blowing when you said it to me. You said, you have some stuff here that we can use for this. So I don't necessarily have to bring like everything.
I have that same gear in my room that we bought when we recorded that stuff upstate. So
I was thinking, if we were to use a 4-track, like what would be... What would the third and fourth mic be good for? Yeah, and I'm thinking about how like you have a third camera here and stuff. People got to see what's going on here, I might try to. Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're doing more music stuff, you should use those inputs for like mic on the amp or something. And then you could have like one of those cylindrical condensers like pointed towards you to like get your Yeah. And then 57 on the snare.
Well, now you're getting up there. Now it's 5 mics. But
no. Just boom, boom. One condenser here, and then a 57. No, but direction toward like this set thing.
I think if you like, if I'm chilling like this and I have this microphone here, the combination of this and anything pointed towards the set will give you a decent sound, because you'll get a lot of bleed in this thing right here. You could even set it to be bidirectional, so it like only listens from the front and the back.
What I've been doing, basically, what I'm done with this, it's like I'll put like a compressor on this, and then EQ it with one of the presets,
sure,
like male Vox 2 or whatever, and then the condenser I might compress also, but this probably have to make it a little bit hotter, and and I'll put a limiter like in the master.
We'll do this afterwards, but compressor on both first thing, for sure. And like just make
bust or like in the,
no like on it.
Yeah for individual. Yeah.
Yeah, and that really helps you normalize the level. Even if like for condensers like this, even if the ratio's low, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, doesn't have to be that hard, but it just takes it just smooths everything out, makes everything easier from there.
If for some reason I listen to the audio from one of those, I'm like, oh, it's good that I'm using microphones to record this.
Oh yeah, and in a room like this too.
Oh, any of the places be it Tucker's apartment or Jules' apartment. So
I'm kind of psyched you haven't asked me to read this poem yet. And I also feel like you just felt like I spoiled a surprise.
So transcribe and put in the transcription video. Yeah.
Sorry, I can tell you're bummed that I said that.
I haven't said a word about any of that.
Okay.
29th gig. Try to the E flat tune into play a little bit of that, or at least like one chorus.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you know where my keys are?
I don't. I'll figure it out later. You gonna run to the store right now?
I got a guitar pick keychain thing.
It's probably picked somewhere around here.
I'll try to do it with my fingers, just like I've been doing everything else. Which I think I did kind of killing job with the next episode beat with just using my fingernail as a pick.
Yeah, you should do that like crazy tremolo finger picking thing.
Not about that. I feel the same way about that, how I feel about doing unironic new music review thing.
Brutal.
It's gonna be a little bit hard. I gotta go for it. It's gonna be really hard. Go to the B section. I've been trying to get back this. Do you remember I was checking out this West Montgomery thing, like West Coast blues head and the solo.
A little bit, yeah.
I've been trying to get that back, and it's been making me think about the whole. So big thing with Wes,
like that weird like thumb position. Didn't he play just thumb?
Just
crazy?
talking about the notes. No,
Okay.
I mean, but
Yeah.
what I was about to go into was just thinking about the whole thumb versus pick tone thing.
He always played with his thumb, right?
Yeah.
And he was like gnarly, like alternate thumb picker. That stuff's crazy.
Yeah, and also tone harnesser.
Yeah.
You know.
Tone harnesser. That sounds like a stoner rock band. Not doomy enough. Like skull harnesser.
What are your favorite bands that don't
sound like their names?
No, who are your favorite rock-ish groups that are further, let's say the swing or like
Further from swing. What do you mean?
Like who are your favorite banders? Who are your favorite bands for like the Pixies or like that
just
type of Radiohead vibe, or
the Pixies
or Weezer-ish, not even prog influence.
I like, dude, the first two Queens of the Stone Age albums are great. I love those. Songs for the Deaf is just such a good album. And that's like some of my favorite Dave Grohl drumming ever. But like heavy shit in general.
No, not necessarily, just
unconcerned,
more alt or punk,
unconcerned with technicality.
Yeah.
I like Pixies. I like there's a bunch of Flaming Lips songs I like. Used to be super into Cake, but I feel like that's not really in that same vein.
I thought you were gonna say I used to be really into Cake, but I think they're not cool anymore.
Oh, I don't think they're cool anymore.
Well, I think Cake is cool. Shout out Cake.
I taught in Mexico today, actually. Speaking of Cake, it's the first time I taught a Cake song in years and years and years. But that's a great way because it's so slow and it's descending in C, and it's like, here's how you use bass lines to outline a chord progression. You know,
I adore Weezer.
Yeah. Oh, I love.
There's so many Weezer songs that are so good.
My Name is Jonas is so good. Oh, we should do that song.
I've always thought Only in Dreams is one of the most gorgeous, most absolutely beautiful.
You know what song I don't like on that album, though? I think it's the only song I don't like on the album is In the Garage.
I think that song is sick. Shout out In My Garage. Or In the Garage or whatever.
No.
So, September 29th, we... Untitled thing, do Peaches and Regalia, maybe do Manic Depression instead of the Swan Song.
Word.
And then...
I'll drink my coffee. I'll take my uppers for Manic Depression. It's an exhausting song to play, man.
Yeah.
The whole time too.
Yeah. I feel bad I didn't get the ending together in time for us to do it at the...
Well, even the recording kind of, the ending falls apart.
Yeah, no, it's my fault. It's I didn't learn it. I didn't learn the ending. That's why it didn't sound good when we tried to play it. I didn't really learn it well enough. And then I kind of wanted to do, you know how at the Huntington thing we did I thought it was really cool that having Jules watch us figure this out in the back. Do the
Foxy Lady?
No, Ain't No Sunshine out of the Who Knows thing. Yeah. I'd like to do that again, you know.
Yeah, I got to remember that.
Word. Yeah. Play them changes. A piece at some point. All right. I guess I heard that you wanted to read a poem.
This motherfucker.
Let us know about
I gotta say, I'm very surprised.
Did you find it or?
Yeah. I'm very surprised. I'm kind of speaking to not Matt right now that he's asked every guest to bring a poem or to write a poem. It's kind of out of left field. I didn't expect it. I'm down. I like a lot of poems.
Word. I mean, I think that's an interesting observation about the podcast so far. I guess that's.
I'm also making sure that it's clear that you asked me to bring this too.
Well, I don't know about any of that, but I think that yeah, it's been interesting objectively how they've ended with poems. But anyway, so what's the author and the name of the poem you want to read today?
The poet is Rilke, who's a German poet around like turn of the 20th century.
Say the name one more time. Can you spell it?
Rilke, Rilke.
Word and title.
Yeah. The Panther. It's short. You ready?
Yeah.
His vision from the constantly passing bars has grown so weary that it cannot hold anything else. It seems to him there are 1,000 bars, and behind the bars, no world. As he paces in cramped circles over and over, the movement of his powerful soft strides is like a ritual dance around a center in which a mighty will stands paralyzed. Only at times the curtain of the pupils lifts quietly. An image enters in, rushes down through the tense, arrested muscles, plunges into the heart, and is gone.
Another thing I was thinking about before I got here was I want to promise you that we will, going forward, we will hang out not only in rehearsals and or doing podcasts.
Word. Living on the other side of New York City is always tough. But
Thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And Godspeed. I want to keep going, but I think that... Can you play a little bit more, please? It's not trying to kill. It's not trying to like...
You got to give me some more specific instructions, though.
Other than like, play whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear like a 12/8 sort of more something that Vinnie Colaiuta or like one of those cats would play. Mm-hmm. Groove, but sort of.
There's a cool. I might have been Vinnie Colaiuta. I forget the track now, but it's a cool feel. It's like 12/8, and normally in 12/8, you're either doing like a bell pattern, or you're emphasizing the first and third. But I like this groove because it does the first two, which is unusual for my ear at least. And it feels good sped up too. See, even there, I want to go back to the other thing. It's like unnatural. Yeah, check out the song Wamba by Salif. I don't know how to say the last name. Keta. Yeah, cool song.
Word. See y'all soon. Thank you. Please listen to each other. Peace out.